Welcome to my Japan faction video opinion video, where I'll be going through the tiers once again, low MP to high MP, then go through the individual units and how they stack up. So, with Japan, in the very beginning, it's all about the SMG here. The SMG for price, I believe, is the best in the game. So naturally, you'll get the Assault Squad, which comes with more SMGs. Then you buy single SMGs to bolster your forces. Good rate of fire, and decently priced. The Pepper Shot from the Soviets is a better SMG, but it's more expensive. So other than that, in the special points department, you also have the 1 SP Kamikazes, which do tend to do better in team games due to its ability to sneak. It's got the stealth modifier, so usually put them on hold fire, start to sneak them all around the map. They will eventually bite the enemy in their ass later on when you kill tanks. Or you can even use them as a squad. Just set them around, sneak around, and even decide to release your firing mode once you're behind the enemy if you want. Not as good, I suppose, as the Blackwatch and 30 cal to do full-on frontal damage, but they're not too bad. Better than the Panzerfaust squad because the SMGs are good. Then you have the AT rifle grenade. In this, you got this guy, which is not really used too much, but you can see it's 140 MP, 45 range, and can do 40 penetration. Means it can kill medium tanks, but it's not too accurate, as you can see just there. I just missed, but I think it can be used in some games too. So it's a viable start. SSD flame tank is the norm for most players these days, because really it's a free vehicle and can take out infantry, and that's really all you need at the start. And 1 special points, it comes at a perfect time for that. Just watch out for those 20 mils at that stage of the game. So that's the special points at the very start. You also do get the 20 mil emplacements as per usual. It's a standard great buy for most people who like to play positional and play it safe, because it's not easy to kill until enemy falls a counter or a tank, and you can shoot stuff. Also, mind you, there's a little known fact, this gun is pretty damn good. 38 penetration, 120 for a light AT gun is great. Can move up a bit. Interestingly enough, look at this, the stats on these two. 200 MP at higher range, the 47mm does actually better. 38 damage, 34 damage. That's interesting. You also got the 75mm type, 90, 160 penetration at maximum range. It can penetrate some medium tanks. So decent choices in that department. And you also have in the special home guard, if you count 2 points as a lower MP tier, these guys are just great to bolster your forces really. Put them in positions where you can defend and shoot out with the enemy. They come with 4 MGs and just really a bulk force what you can use to push up. Just bolster your numbers to fight the enemy. You also have this Honey 3, which it's okay for 2 special points, but not that great in terms of survivability and penetration to kill, I guess, allied medium tanks. You've also got the Hager and the Canoe. So these guys are really cheap. You know, the Type 92 if you're on a rush, generally not used, but in some team games you can have one guy going that. So the Hager, just really it's a 160 MP, the price of a half track that can kill half tracks and can shoot HE shells, AP shells. It's a great unit for its price, very cheap. So generally cheap units for their price. Then you have the medium middle game. You have decent tanks for price in this department as well. You have the Chi-He, which is pretty much similar to the German counterpart P3, just 20 MP cheaper. Just lacks one of the MGs. I think it has 2 MGs instead of 3 MGs, but you don't really need a coaxial MG, in my opinion, for a tank. Leave that to the 20mm, thank you. So it's a cheaper killer to the, I guess this is a 40mm Crusader AA counter, that's for sure. Like the P3, it struggles to counter allied medium tanks, but can do so in close range with APCR. Then you have the Chinook, which is pretty unique and decent too. Pretty similar to the G, just a bit cheaper, not as good, but can go toe-to-toe in 50-50s at maximum range for most allied mediums as well, like Shermans, Cromwells, all that sort. It can fight. It can fight, but I guess, yeah, obviously because of the Sherman, it will struggle a bit. still, but for price it's good. Then you have paratroopers, which are pretty cheap for the price, 200 MP, very cheap. They also lay mines, infantry mines. It's the only mines you can use in the whole game, really. The other ones are a waste of money, but these guys have mines and they can fight too, so why not? So that is pretty much it in that department. They don't have a jeep. They don't have a they're not got a bike. It's a bit cheaper though. So to the middle high MP game, you have the 75mm AA, which you can call it, I guess, middle game. If you can get this, it pretty much can lock down everything in terms of allied mediums. If you right click, see 93 penetration at 130 range. This can knock out comets, even the highest medium tank. Won't take out Pershings in that at maximum range, but can do a decent job at it if you go closer or from the side. This gun is great for price. Comes with a Type 92 armoured car. If you can get this in a great position, can lock down the entire map for tanks. This plus a 20mm will be extremely hard to counter, as the Japanese, it's pretty much the allied tank can opener, you can call it, at maximum range. You can also use this when you be wary though, obviously, for 1F5s and SPG type tanks. You can use that to teleport, so you can quickly attach it, detach it, to make it quickly teleport back to your gun, so just to dodge things like that. The SNLF is pretty good too, in my opinion. I actually like this unit. 300 MP, great SMG, and for price, it's great. Probably one of my favourite 4th tier infantry. Then you have also the Cheeto, great penetration, 93. Very similar to the 75. It is a 75mm gun. Decent armor. It's pretty good for price. It can take out all of the allied mediums and medium lights. Just will struggle versus the Pershings and the like. So those are the notable units to play, in my opinion. That is it. That is, maybe the AT rifle could be a notable unit if you like that kind of thing, but not really for me. I think they're rubbish. So I will go through... Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention one other thing. The 150mm mortar 3SP, which is a middle game unit, can change the battle. It can take out emplacements. It's different to other mortars, let's say, non-special mortars, because its blast radius is huge. If you hit around there, it'll take out units in a huge vicinity, destroying placements and of the sort. So you can change the game to make allied units or allied infantry pretty much cower and play differently. Oh, what do we have here? Now we have, I think that's really it, actually. That's really it. So I will now go to all the individual units. So quickly going through, we have the recruits, bolster, normal, it's good. Regular, I think it's not too bad. Priced pretty well. Still not that great because the MG is too weak. I like these two, as I've told you. Same thing, mechanized SNLF. Not a big fan of this half track. It has, I guess you can call it, three people aiming the MGs, but I don't like it. It's just not that effective. Single rifles, preferably not, because the SMG is so good. Just go the SMG. AT rifle, probably one of the only AT rifles which is relatively decent. It has great fire rate basically and good penetration. Second best, I believe, other than the guards rifle. You can even snipe AT infantry if you really want to play tricky. You can even do that. I've done it a few games, but it requires a lot of micro, and yeah, generally you just don't want to do that. AT infantry, yeah, not too bad. Pretty cheap and can penetrate stuff well. It's in fact cheaper than the allied counterparts. As cheap as some of the allied counterparts, but does the second best damage, I think, or third best damage if you include Panzerfaust, 150. So that's good. MG, no, overpriced. Elite Marksman, pretty crappy. The rifles reload so slow. Opening with this is pretty much a no-no. It's pretty much the only no-no for sure, opening Elite Marksman, because it's too slow. Assault squad to just rape them. Elite Infantry, a bit too expensive as per usual. Same as MG, too expensive as per usual. Flamethrower useful. Sniper could be useful. Officer useful, not good. not good for price. 97 could be decent. Thing is, you can't buy at the start anymore a bike and an assault squad at the same time because of the price. Zuzi mortar can get countered very easily by any SPG, tank, Scott, anything really. Just too susceptible to damage. I prefer even a normal mortar, so pretty useless for price. Ho-ha, I don't like this half track at all, but I guess it can be used from occasions if you want to just quickly defend a point or quickly attack a point and have nothing else to afford. Ammo trucks, nothing great. Situational heavy MG once again. 20 mil, great. Mortar, no good. 80 guns, not bad. Pretty good penetration. Remember, this light 80 gun has good penetration for some reason. AA, great, as you know. This one, no good, no good, no good. Artillery, no good. But mind you, that is pretty damn cheap, but still no good. Hato, way too expensive for the price, but can take out tanks. One-shot tanks if it gets lucky. Heavy tanks, that is. 92, not too bad. Hargo, great. Kinu, pretty good. Others, not bad I guess, but you might as well just go the other ones if you want, because they're pretty much the same armor with similar penetration, just more expensive. You don't need to go these really. There's no, I guess, in between allied tank to kill on this. There's nothing which cannot counter a Chiha that can counter a they can't counter they can counter Hargo that can't counter a Chiha. Counters both outright for allied tanks. Zuzu AI, very situational. I think it's just hard to use because it can only shoot the sides and the rear, and you're so susceptible to any engine damage. You pretty much will get stuck by small arms fire. So it can be useful if you, and pretty much the guys in here also gets destroyed so easily. You just get shot out of the gun. So I don't think it's a great buy, but can be useful as 20mm are useful. Chihi, yep, as noticed, as you remembered, that's just counted for all the 20 mils, 40 mils. And can fight mediums if you get close. Chinu, decent buy. Ho I3, like the Panzer N, situational, behind a hill if you want to bombard. It's okay, I guess, for some situations. Not a staple buy. Cheeto, pretty good buy. Can take out all medium tanks quite safely. Just gotta watch out for the big heavies. Chiri, not too good. It's okay, I guess. It's like a Tiger. Pretty much like a Tiger. Just, I suppose, not as strong, I believe. It just seems to die more. The armor's not as great. It seems to die from SPGs quite a bit too. More than a Tiger. Ho 3, too expensive. And also paper thin, too risky. Ho 3, just way too expensive for the price, like a heavy tank. Penetration's okay, but yeah, just whenever you talk about heavy tank in competitive games, no is the answer. No. All the 3 special points have their unique abilities. This is what I like about Japan. It's very cool that all 3 are so different, but they have their all uses. Homeland Fury, good to bolster troops, just for numbers, if you need numbers to win. Honey 3, similar to the Marder, not great. Paper thin. Marine paratroopers don't really like it as well because the half track is not something I want. 97 mortar, great unit, can hit from safety. Marine tank, very inaccurate, but I guess it's okay if you want to try. It can kill some tanks, just inaccurate. Radio up, it's good as per usual. Banzai is great if you can get it. It's 34 CP. Thing is with this though, I think the CP, see, let's look at my CP. It's 540 CP. I buy this, it's 574 CP. And it comes with a full para squad plus change. I think it's almost 2 para squads. And then if I kill these tanks, so it's 485 CP, okay? 485 CP, 474 CP, 450 CP. So pretty much the para squad was, I believe, 17. 2 para squads are about 17 CP, which is, yeah, you just get more buck for your money. Even though you lose your Chihas and the suicide, you have 2 para squads, which is basically less CP than 1 para squad. Like the charge unit, you can say. Then 20mm rocket, pretty expensive. You might as well go the others. but this is if you're desperate to kill a heavy tank. You can kill a heavy tank. I'm really close now, but you can see there, you can destroy really heavy tanks. Great damage, but in the ranges you're going to be fighting, it's going to be really inaccurate. Desperate unit. Ho 3, same thing, it's just, yeah, not another heavy tank, which you might as well buy another unit to do damage at the start. As the game is balanced, not for heavy tank gameplay, for competitive. So remember, I'm talking about assault squads, assault zones, competitive, which TMS balanced the game for. Not where people change their things to high MP mode or combat, where it's a totally different gameplay. So anyway, here's the Japanese faction. They are a very interesting nation to play with some very unique style of gameplay and unique unit abilities. They feature a lot of units that are also very cheap for their price. So generally you want to play them so you pressure the enemy enough so they're forced to fight your cheaper counterparts for the same gain or loss. And they also have many, basically units are cheap for the same penetration you get for the, I guess, the German counterparts too. So Japan has a lot of advantages of the game. We're best to attack, attack, and attack.